stuff around and stuff. Hey, Dale, it has been bothering me. Move your chair down a little bit. I noticed that earlier, and I should have told you earlier.
I look
Yeah.
down on you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, when I say that, reminds me, I'm over there yesterday swimming with the grandkids, and Scott, has a pool fence, and so there's a lock, and as you walk out now, you used to keep it outside, but the wind's blowing it everywhere, so now he keeps it inside. I said, well, where is he? He said, it's right by the door, it's eye level. So I go, no.
You're looking eye level?
And I go, no. It's 2 feet above my head. I said, whose eyes level is that?
He's not that much. He's taller than you.
No,
Maybe about your height,
he's
right?
about my height.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he's a little bit taller than
eye
me.
level,
but he's not. Yeah, my point is he's not that much taller than you.
But the kids now can grab a chair and they'll open the front door.
That's the problem. You gotta protect it from the kids there, so you gotta put it all high. Ann says on the YouTube chat, don't forget, live here on YouTube, TME Media AZ, 8 to 10 a.m. Of course, on demand on YouTube afterwards. Catch our programming there. McCollum on Business. The main event here, the pit stop. New episode coming your way this week. That DC race yesterday was so much fun. Watching all the flyovers and then the race itself with the Capitol in the background. Just gorgeous race yesterday from that perspective. Playoffs coming for NASCAR here. Last one more week. This is the final races here before the chase is set for the O'Reilly and the Cup Series. So catch Pit Stop this week. Of course, the Real Matrix is over on Rumble, along with all of our programming for those of you that prefer Rumble out there as well. And Ann says, am I going to see you at Gilbert on Friday? Because that's where Desert Ridge starts their season. One of my options.
When you're in demand, Ann, I mean, when you're not quite sure what that feels like. When you're in demand, you're being pulled like the old who was this, the guy, Stretch Armstrong.
I'll put it this way, like something. And this is because of you guys watching us here as our monitors go out. That's always freaks me out a little bit. But the thing that amazes me with what's happening, and it's all because of you guys watching us now and those of you catch us on demand, is I actually had somebody reach out and they said, hey, can you come to X school this year and come watch a game for us and come cover this game? Somebody with the team actually reached out and asked me that.
Really?
And I was like, nice.
Now,
which means the brand's getting out there and stuff like that.
Are you sure they want you, or do they ask for Helly?
No, this one's me. This one's me. Yeah, they were like, do you have Dale's a way to contact Dale? Yeah, and it was good. I mean, look, like I said, I've always wanted to do like a lower level, like lower level meaning 2A, 3A, maybe a 4A type show, because everybody focuses on 5 and 6A, or maybe even the 5 and 6. Like, you guys know I do Desert Ridge. Queen Creek, which has success. They have a new head coach this year. We're going to refollow them like always and stuff. But, I think it's important to cover the teams that aren't the best teams out there.
It's interesting because Brad Sesmat and I have had many talks about that. And, yes, every TV broadcast through Cox and all that, you're always going to get a bash. Hamilton and Chandler, Centennial, Liberty. Those schools get so much coverage, but there's, I think, 218 schools that play football in Arizona.
Yeah.
Now, again, you're not going up to Heber to cover a 1A
but
football game. But there's schools here in the metro area that we could cover and could be covered.
Well, that's the thing. I can't make it to Heber. I can't make it to Thatcher for a game. I went to Pima SCA opening game. If that was any other week, I wouldn't have gone to that game because I had options in town to go to and cover somebody else, stuff like that. Right. It's the stories that, we want to tell here, not the, look at us covering this stuff out there and things. So, and I think this 3A conference is going to be pretty competitive this year with Chrisman, the Ben Franklins, and those types of schools. I think this is going to be fun to watch coming up. So, it's always been my dream to do it. We just, getting people hired and figuring it out. Probably more my fault than anything that we aren't doing it yet, slow rolling it and stuff like that. But it's getting out there. Even Ethan's going to go and kind of probably be going out to a couple games for us this year and reporting back and telling us how the games are going and stuff like that.
He's not going to give you I got class on Friday night. Not knowing that you know his schedule.
I know. Yeah, I know your schedule. I paid for your schooling. I know your schedule, buddy. Let's get into the Diamondbacks here really quick here. Before we get into the game, and I'll say that Ann types in on the YouTube chat. Join it. Don't forget, text line 623-252-6670 at TME Sports Show on X. You can reach out to us during the show or even after the show if you're listening to us later on the day. I know a lot of you do that. And then also the YouTube chat during the show. Or if you chat when you watch us on demand, we do see those comments. And of course, we can bring them up also there. But Ann says, being at the game on Saturday, while most people there probably could care less about Marte, there were some that were more frustrated with how the management has handled it. That's the thing, is what I've noticed really quick on the Marte situation before we get into the details of what's changed over the weekend, what happened over the weekend, etc. I'm fascinated by this story for one specific reason. Marte, diehard fans that Marte can do no wrong are going to blame the organization, not Marte. Then you have people like me. They're screwing it up royally on all aspects of it. The organization's screwing it up. Marte's screwing it up. And that's not even the organization's discipline of Marte or lack of it. It's not even just that. It's just what they say, what they do. They're not helping the situation at all. And then you got the people that are all solely on the management side of it. And it's a fascinating dynamic here to see the difference. I will say Marte has less fans today than he had before last Monday. Mm-hmm. Which I've noticed that trend as well. I've noticed older people tend to be more on our side, Dale, where he's just a selfish, not necessarily because he's just selfish. He's a quitter, stuff to that effect. They seem to be on that side. Younger people seem to be like, yeah, he needed a day off. The team was asking too much of him, and he needed a break, and he fought back. He fought the man. It's amazing dynamic that's going on with Marte and the Diamondbacks right now. All of that's happening. They won 2 out of 3 against the Reds. But this is the danger of blowing up the season. And that's what I don't like about it.
Where do I begin with Ketel Marte?
Well, do you want to get into the Friday night shenanigans?
Well, real quick, just to remind everybody where I come from.
Yeah, let's do that first.
I was going to come from a football background. I come from a this would not be tolerated background, but back then, we didn't have anybody making $16 million a year and held the team hostage.
Yeah,
and that's what and that's what he's doing.
Dion held. I just use an example. Dion, from what your stories are and what I remember, Dion held the team hostage, but never. Emmitt Smith held the team hostage for 2 games to win that.
2 games, but he was not under contract.
Yeah, well, that's the difference.
He was a free agent,
okay.
and so he was a negotiated contract. Everybody understood that. That was, again, one of those Jerry, I'm going to play Russian roulette and hope we win the 2 games, and he wins. But we didn't.
Yeah.
But when I look at Ketel Marte, and I was talking with people over the weekend, because there are most people don't feel as strongly as I do. More people are kind of in the middle, but yeah, hey, he probably shouldn't play again for the Diamondbacks and whatever. But last year after the All-Star charades, before the trade deadline, I told everybody, get rid of this guy.
Yeah, you did.
Because that wasn't the first time that happened for you people out there.
The All-Star game was number 2 that we know of.
Yes, that we know of.
Yeah.
That made it outside the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I said, by the time, if you don't trade him this trade deadline, then you're screwed, because now he's got 10-5 rights, which, again, baseball's kind of complicated, but 10-5 means the player owns you, you don't own the player, basically.
Yes.
And so
they have all the leverage.
And so there's nothing you can tell me that the Diamondbacks did on that Sunday night that would precipitate this reaction.
Even Monday morning.
From Marte.
There are people, Dale, on my feed that literally are like, they asked him to play and his knee hurts and it's unacceptable. It could risk his career, so he needed to leave the team because they wanted him to play on it.
No.
And I'm like, there's ways to handle that.
No.
Your agent files a complaint with the MLBPA. You verbally go out there publicly. There's way you go get your treatment and you tell them you're not playing and you fight that angle. There's ways to handle it than not showing up. But they're like, oh, they asked him to play on Monday and his knee hurt, so he needed to show them he couldn't play. What?
And the MRI confirmed he has knee soreness.
I think they said swelling in his upper knee.
Well, he should have been at the training room on Monday putting ice on it.
That's the thing.
Rehabbing it.
But then going to Friday night. So those are our stances.
Okay,
my stance is Ketel Marte quit on this team again, and I don't like it.
And let me put one more caveat there. Most of the people that I see that have any backing of Ketel Marte have not played even up to the college level, much less the professional level.
So you bring that up. I hesitate to bring that up because, one, I haven't played at those levels,
right.
One. But then, two, I hate that. You can't talk this because you never played it at that level.
But I'm saying, as a guy who has...
That's the thing.
When you betray your teammates, you're under contract. This is not a contract holdout. This is not a
there's
it's
acceptable
not a money thing.
Well, somebody brought up the guy with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a defensive lineman that just signed and he held out.
Vita.
And people go, well, he held out. That's an acceptable way to negotiate your contract in the NFL.
And it's preseason.
Yeah.
If Ketel Marte begs out of a spring training game.
This was a game on a Monday night when he's expected to be there, like in the middle of the season. No, the reason why this is so shocking and such a conversation is because nobody does this.
And so they had their meeting on Thursday.
Yeah.
Whatever happened. He's on the 10-day injured list, whatever the hell that is. And
his knee hurts. His knee hurts, so he has to go on the IL. They want him away from the team is what they want.
And that's one way to do it.
But they're paying him now. They could have kept him on the reserve list and had him get rehab, etc.
And then he could sue. He could file a grievance, but whatever. So they're paying him. And his first decision after this big hullabaloo and a week-long distraction to a team in the playoff hunt, his teammates who are relying on him.
Who really quick, because you're going down the story, that on Friday we're answering questions before the game about Ketel Marte and his absence before they play the Reds on Friday. That's the distraction we're talking about. He's not even there. Before the game, they're doing that. Go ahead, Dale.
And so at about 7 o'clock Friday night, I get a picture of Ketel Marte sitting at a blackjack table.
Yeah, and it was from a dealer, by the way. That was my favorite part.
No, the one I got was from a trusted source.
But what I'm getting at, it wasn't from a fan walking by or anything like that. Because I don't want to get him. And it was somebody within the casino system, because the angle of that, you're standing on one side of the table. Let's put it that way.
And he's sitting there gambling, and then other videos came out of seeing him walk in and all that. Now, again, right off the bat, I will say this. Nothing illegal happened. He didn't break any rules. He didn't break any laws.
No, he's done with his work. It's just like you. He got done with his work, and he decided to blow off some steam and go to the casino, Dale.
But the optics were 100% wrong. Your team's battling without you.
Mm-hmm.
You choose not to go to the stadium to support them. That's fine. I understand that right now.
The thing I couldn't find out is I don't know if they're allowed to.
I'm sure he's allowed to be in the locker room before the game.
At a certain point,
I'm sure he could be around the team before the game if
there's
any rules.
But he can't sit in the dugout.
If there's any rules. He chose, and the thing that blew my mind was there's nobody in his camp, whether this agent who's talked more than he has this week and went to the meeting and all that.
That's true.
Well, whether it's one of his buddies didn't sit him down and go.
His wife.
One of his 5 kids. None of them sat him down and said, Ketel, this is a stupid idea that will be looked at you crapping on your team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the optics of it.
Yeah,
and I'm saying from inside a locker room, I would see that. And that's almost an unforgivable sin. I'm telling you that right now. That's almost unforgivable.
From inside a locker room.
From inside a locker room. Didn't break any rules. Didn't break the law. But what I'm telling you is you're either, and I came up with this over the weekend, there's one of two things, Steve. He's either got a huge gambling problem that he needs help for, and I don't think that's it. I really don't. I think that's a big, huge 3-foot middle finger to the organization and his teammates saying, I don't give one crap about you. And that's the message I would take if I'm anybody in that clubhouse.
Yeah.
And therefore, I can't imagine how this is going to go over when he evidently is going to come back. They
said they have a plan in place for him to apologize to his teammates. I was thinking about this. So my reaction to him being at the casino is, and I took a heat for this from the Marte fans out there, he gets downtime. He went and worked out at Salt River Fields. He got done. You get free time. You can go see your players. You can go do all that stuff. You can go out with your family and relax. Injured players do it all the time. I even went to, and I know it's a different situation, but remember when Sean Marion got suspended in that playoff run, and Amari Stoudemire, got suspended when Robert Horry checked him, and he got suspended for coming off the bench. Robert Horry went to the bar across the street from the arena, because you're not allowed in the arena when you're suspended. Right. And he was watching the game there with fans. Right. But he was close to the arena, perception-wise, and things of that. And that's what it comes down to, and I agree with you. And I've never been in a locker room at those levels to know it, but my reaction was when you sent me that picture, and then later on the way back home from Pima, and then Saturday morning, the reaction tells you when majority of people get it, it's an optics issue. Yes. When you're already caused a distraction all week long and you go out there. It was such a distraction, folks, that Torey Lovello was asked, as soon as the game ended, goes to his press conference, and he's asked about Marte being at a casino.
Oh.
And that could have all been avoided if he just would have not gone there. Go have dinner with the family and all that. But when you're doing something like gambling, we have an influencer here in Arizona that got the word that he was there, got off his couch, and went down there to see it. First of all, stalking vibes for anybody that does that. Don't show up where your superstars are when you find out about them. That's weird. But that's how big of a story this is, whether you like it or not. Optics-wise is where it went bad, and it continues to be a distraction. And trust me, I had people Marte fans just tell me what an idiot I was all weekend. I was kind of having fun with them out there. And then Torey came back on Saturday and said it's an optics thing. Oh. And now the Diamondbacks are answering more questions about Marte than their series win 2 out of 3 against the Reds. That's the distraction that I'm talking about. That's the, like you said, the middle finger to the team. He is either tone deaf to how he looks in this area. That would be like Michael Jordan getting suspended and then going, I'm going to go gamble instead of watching my team play. You know what a distraction that would be to everything? So a week of distractions, and Friday night, it's another distraction.
And
not realizing it is where you're just like, this guy's tone. This guy doesn't get it.
Here's what I want to ask of the people who are defending the move to choose to go to Talking Stick to play blackjack or whatever game he was playing.
You got a big stack there, too.
Try and put yourself in a locker room situation with 25 guys who've been battling all year. There's 25 games left?
Yeah.
Ish.
20, 30, I don't know, yeah.
Been in locker rooms together all year long. There's been sweat. There's been, I don't know how much blood there is, but you've been grinding as a team.
You have guys that are playing injured.
You got Arenado, who whatever a trunk injury is, played a long time.
Soroka obviously had something wrong when he was pitching on Saturday. He didn't look right. It turns out it's an inflamed shoulder, but he's out there trying to gut through it.
Yes.
Is another example.
And so all those things go into it. You abandon the team Sunday night, Monday. You go the entire week with no communication from all of his teammates that I talked to
until the meeting day
on Thursday.
Yeah.
And that's still a little bit of a mystery. But other than, okay, we'll put you on the DL and whatever. And this is, quote unquote, I'm not going to say he's your best player anymore, but he's one of your best players. And then you see him.
He's your superstar.
And there's downtime and there's downtime in a dugout. Words going through there. Mm-hmm. Hey, guess where our guy is?
Yeah. They all had to answer questions on Friday night about where Marte was. To the point where I don't have the videos here because you guys have all seen them. Torrey, after the game, was like, I have to think about that. Let me get back to you. And then he paused for a minute. I think Jody Jackson asked him a follow-up. And he went, you know what? Players can do what they want on the IL. They have no responsibility to the team other than treatment and whatever they need to do to get back to the game. Come nighttime, they don't have to be at the stadium. I don't even know if they're allowed at the stadium. I do not know the answer to that. I don't know that. But they don't have to be with the team. They're on the IL. They're separated from them. They're doing their work up at Salt River Field. It'd be one thing if they were doing if he was doing his work at Chase Field, or whatever it's called now. Is that called Chase Field still? Not the morgue. He's down there at Chase Field and doing his workout, leaves and goes to the casino. He's at Salt River Field right across the street from the casino.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, I like to gamble. I'm going to go over there. I make a ton of money. I'm going to go over there and gamble. I can tell you this. He's been to that casino 1,000 times this year to gamble.
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden now is it a concern? If you don't get this, can't help you. Why was Friday night a big issue? Because he caused a distraction to this team for a week, and then he goes and does it.
I'm going to double down because he knew. There's no way you don't know that you're the guy at the crux of all this conversation.
Yes, it's around you,
and you're going to walk in not even incognito, not through a back door, nothing.
Walk right through the middle of the casino. Yeah. It's just a perception thing, and it just goes to the perception that Marte's selfish. Marte only cares about himself and doesn't care about his teammates or his coaching staff who defends him mercifully out there. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing thing to see. Make no mistake about it. Some media members are just bashing Marte as selfish and other things like that. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He's getting permission to say that stuff by one man, and that's Torey Lovello.
Nah.
Torey Lovello's tired of his crap, I think, Dale. He's being,
yeah.
And it's been coming out through some media members that Torey's close to that they're being like, all right, he's all this stuff. Torey's tired of it. It's going to cost Torey his job. It's going to come down to Marte or him. And you know who loses most of the time on those, Dale? Coaching staff, right? Robert says he's just immature. It's what happens when no one has ever held you accountable. But he used to not be this way. He's been a guy that's been placated and allowed to be this way. And that's where I blame the organization. I think both are at fault here, by the way. The team and the way they've handled it. And then Marte being the way he is. I think they're both at fault on this. Robert says conspiracy theorists think Jordan was suspended for gambling. There's some truth to that, though. Like there's stuff leading to that can point you in that direction and stuff like that. I'm not going to go as far. Marte has money, folks. It's like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley spends a lot of money gambling.
Yep.
But he can afford to.
Just
because you see somebody sitting at a table gambling, say $3 million, doesn't mean they're degenerates.
I don't care about the gambling. I care about the optics of the gambling. Okay, and remember, this week started with Cattell has a mental issues, so you can't touch that.
It started with a personal issue, then maybe a mental issue, and then back to personal again, and now he's
can't touch that. Yeah. You can't touch that. We all had doubts, but we withheld judgment.
Yeah.
That said all I needed to see.
Yeah. I don't know, I've never had a major personal issue where I have to miss work and then end up at a casino.
while your team's playing, engaged in a pennant race.
Now, Robert says this because what I mean by, let me read Robert's thing first. Burns has been inducted to his IL stint. I know for a fact if you're on the IL, you can be with your team. I know that for a fact. What I'm saying is, I don't think the team wants him around the team. He's been told to stay away from the team during this IL stint. He's going to have to go in and apologize to the team. They say they have a plan for that, which is even more absurd in my opinion, Dale. You have to make a plan. He should organically show up and apologize to the team if he means it. You don't set up a plan to where he can walk in, it's scripted. I got to be there at noon today to go apologize to the team. They're telling me to be there at noon. That's absurd. He should be in there. Maybe just today he goes, you know what? They're going to do batting practice here. I know they do batting practice at 11. I know they get there. I know some players get there like 9 before the media gets there. I'm gonna go down to the stadium and walk in at 9:00 and just talk to the player individually. I'm not gonna walk into the locker room and talk to everybody. I'm gonna go talk to people individually in this. Do it authentically. They have a plan in place for him to walk in and apologize to people. That's absurd. He should just do it on his own. Make no mistake about it, the Diamondbacks don't want him anywhere around the team right now. That's the issue number 2 with people freaking out about it being at the casino and saying like how the team's. I'm just telling you guys, the team has told him not to come around. They want him away. Let things settle. Let things calm down. Now going to the casino, they didn't plan on that because that put a wrench in it and probably caused more divide. But it's just amazing. The perception level is what I got. It just continues. There are people, Dale, on my feed going, he's not a distraction. The distraction is the Diamondbacks, the management. And I'm like, if you don't understand, Friday night, Saturday morning, they're answering questions about Marte at a casino. That's a distraction, folks. They should be focusing on that day's game and stuff to that effect. And says he should already have been apologizing to his teammates. That's my point. You don't schedule the apology. Dale, he has their numbers, and if he doesn't have them, he can get them.
His mode of operation.
Hey, Corbin.
Has been, I'm not responding to anybody's texts.
Yep. I'm not telling you what's going on.
I'm sorry. And maybe my locker rooms were different than this locker room. But you apologized last year.
Yeah.
Supposedly heartfelt. We moved past it. We finished the season. Started off the season, everything was hunky-dory. And now, again, we're in a playoff race.
Mm-hmm. And gone again.
And things are happening.
I was thinking back to that Bob Nightingale story earlier this year. Only a couple players came out and defended him.
What can you possibly... I'm thinking of it as a player. What can you possibly say to your team? That would make me multiple. That would make me as Corbin Carroll or me as Arenado battling through injuries and things like that go, oh, okay, just pop back in.
There's 2 things happening here that I don't like what the Diamondbacks are doing. The way they're handling this. Is they're telling their young stars there, become a superstar and we'll let you do whatever you want. Which isn't good for young players. Young players probably need that discipline to learn how to be a pro and stuff like that. And this isn't how you act as a professional. It just isn't, folks.
But that's the thing. He's not playing for Bill Parcells. He's not playing for Sparky Anderson.
Yeah, Dale, if he was playing for anybody else on the reserve list, not coming back to this team, no matter what, until he shows he wants to play on this team and whatever, they would have eaten it. They would have eaten it and done all that stuff. And that's what I think. The Diamondbacks took too long, whether they want him back on this team or they don't. Whether they're saying all what they're saying to try to preserve his trade value, whatever they're doing. Just all those extra comments of like Torrey saying, I was just hurt by the way he acted. That stuff ain't helping the situation.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they're talking to Marte himself.
And maybe they're trying to use the media for that. But see, I can see where Torrey's come from because I guarantee you, Torrey had to do a lot of damage control last year in that locker room.
Even at the Bob Mitendale story a couple months ago, Torrey was the guy going, "There's no rift in this locker room. I don't like that story. There's no rift in here." When there's an obvious rift in the locker room.
Torrey has stuck his neck out, and you and I touched on it last week. I've talked to other people. Most everybody has gone above and beyond, stuck their neck out for somebody. Whether you're a boss, a manager, a coach, whatever. And when that extension is repaid with and I think it's disloyalty.
Yeah.
The first thing you do feel is disappointed and hurt. Hey, I put my reputation on the line for you.
Yeah.
For you. And this is how you're treating, and you're going to take it personal. You're treating me this way.
100%.
And it just blows my freaking mind.
And I wouldn't go to a microphone and be like, "I love the guy. I just care for him." Those words wouldn't be coming out of my mouth. Torrey's a better man than I am. I wouldn't bash him either, but I'd just be like, "Yeah, he's dealing with whatever he's dealing with, and we're moving on as a team." Type of a story.
I did everything I could last year for the kid.
But I find it interesting who's talking about Marte right now. Who's talking about him, kind of deal, right? Moreno came out and said, "Oh no, I'm texting with him." But you know who's not? Corbin Carroll, Arenado, the veterans, and the veterans aren't. They're all keeping their mouth shut, and that tells you something. No pitching guys coming out and talking about Marte, a veteran pitcher. Where's Erod? Is Erod talking about him? And that tells you a lot. When veterans dealt, right? I'm assuming in a locker room. Like I remember when Kurt Schilling was traded to the Diamondbacks, and Bob Brenly was struggling with them, and not Bob Brenly? It was Bob Showalter, I believe. But he gets here. Marte called into a local radio program and started defending him. Started defending the manager at the time, who was and I have good sources on this one, that the locker room told, he did the right thing. He went out and defended his new manager and stuff like that. And there were people in the locker room, veterans in that locker room, that pulled Kurt Schilling aside and said, "No. You don't defend him publicly anymore." Because they were all tired of it. Veterans, what the veterans do on this team speaks volumes more than anything else. Not his friends like Moreno and Perdomo. And even Perdomo is kind of like, I'm not even sure Perdomo's happy with what's going on. But people aren't defending him in that locker room. That speaks more volumes than anything else. Ginkel last week came out and spoke. Yeah, it's absolutely frustrating. No, who in this locker room is coming out and defending him inside this locker room? Moreno's the only one saying, "I'm texting with him." Everybody else is quiet. That should tell you something in a locker room setting. And then that's what the shocking side of it is. So get off my junk, everybody that's out there. No, it's been fun. Most people are respectful. A lot of people are calling me names and idiots, which is fine. I don't care about that. But it is amazing. It's just sitting back amazing how Marte, of all people, is splitting the fan base apart. And that's my problem with the Diamondbacks. I told you before, you're going to find out whatever the Diamondbacks decide to do. It's going to come down to how the locker room feels about it. It's the most important thing. But you also have a chance that your fan base is going to turn on you. The fan base was turning on you with Pavin Smith constantly being out there. They were turning on you with Gallen constantly being run out there. And you keep saying, "Oh, we're going to give him every chance he's got. He can return this around." The fan base started to turn on you. They turned on you last year with your third base coach, where it took you way too long to replace that. The Diamondbacks are doing everything in their power to give the middle finger to the fan base as well. Here in Arizona, we root for who, Dale? Colin Gillespie's of the world. The guys that struggle, make it, and play hard and dominate. Jonathan Goodwin on the Suns is another guy. Is his first name Jonathan? I just sounded blank. Larry Fitzgerald, Kurt Warner. Yes, they won at times to kind of get that favoritism. Who do we not root for? Guys like Robert Sarver. We don't root for quitters. There's a long list of Diamondbacks players that have been run out of town because they were quitters. And this team and the management has an opportunity here to embrace this fan base and show them, along with this team, that they're there for them.
And I will say one other thing, and I know we need to move on. We spent way too much time talking about this subject. But I've been around here
football.
Basically since I retired. So 2001-ish. I was around here earlier than that, just an off season.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've ever seen two primetime hosts made to come out and recant what they were saying.
Two of them?
I saw both Gambo and Burns.
Gambo clarified. Burns walked his comments back completely.
Yes. And it's a truth. However this goes, Troy Lovello could be fired based on these decisions that a player's making.
1,000. He's good. If they can't unload Marte,
no,
Lovello's gone.
So you're going to bring in that's going to make Marte happy.
I don't. You know what? I want him to bring in the meanest son of a bee on the planet.
It's baseball. You're not doing extra Oklahoma drills. You're not doing illegal padded practices.
I don't care. I want him to be.
It's baseball.
I want Bill Parcells to be on the Diamondbacks here coming up. Something like that. Really quick, two other things. 2 out of 3 against the Reds. You got a hard series. Sirocco back on the IL. Disappointing news, but he's got to get healthy, man.
Well, what about the other news that came out kind of quietly?
Well, which one?
Burns?
I know.
Burns days away supposedly.
Okay. This is you. I'm gonna say it this way. You need Burns back sooner than later, because one, the Mitch Bratch thing is okay. I'm done with it. I was done with him 2 starts ago. And it's even more so now. He's fantastic. I don't have a problem with him. It's just we need a veteran pitcher to take his spot moving forward. But with Sirocco's injury, you got to worry about it. I do not want to see Gallen again this year. So you need Burns back to delay that Gallen decision as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, it definitely looks like you're not going to get that.
I know. Don't give me the bad news, Dale.
I mean,
we're going to see Gallen back again, folks. We're going to. He's coming back. They need him. And I don't want to see it. I just don't. I'm done with that. I'm done with that, man. I'm done with it.
And now you got the Cubs in town for 3. One of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball.
Yep.
And you're trotting out Merrill Kelly tonight.
Yep. The hottest hitting team. Pete Crow Armstrong. Folks,
Oh.
If you're not watching the Cubs this year, and I get it, there's a lot of Cubs fans in town, and there's a lot of people that hate the Cubs. I'm just telling you, Cubs are a damn good baseball team this year. They're fun to watch. They're entertaining to watch. They're fun to watch. And they hit the snot out of the ball. The Diamondbacks are going to struggle in this series, Dale, because the Diamondbacks are probably going to have to score 10 a game to have a chance to win this thing.
I don't follow baseball as close as Steve, but when I know a player's moniker, PCA, because he's so damn good.
Yeah, but that's because we don't want to type out Pete Crow Armstrong every time. So we just shorten it there. Astros fired their GM today as well.
Yeah.
What's that start time today for the Diamondbacks?
6:40.
6:40. I thought it was. So 6:40 today and tomorrow. A day game on Wednesday. I don't have that schedule in front of me.
I would think so.
I'm looking at it. I got it right here. 12:40 p.m. against the Cubs. And then you go to the Giants for 4. Look, throw up the NL wildcard standings as well for me, if you will here. Look, here's the thing. With all we've said here, the problem is whether they bring Marte back or not, this Monday coming up, a week from today, is going to be distraction day for the Diamondbacks again. Because if Marte comes back or not, people are going to have to talk about it. They're 2 games back from the Padres. Here's the problem. Phillies and Padres are just they're playoff mode. Ding. Phillies have Seattle this week. Padres have Pittsburgh. Diamondbacks have the Cubs before they go to the Giants.
Well, I guess one thing is, good thing you didn't play the Cubs 2 weeks ago. At least they're 4-6 over the last 10.
Yeah.
But
Okay, they're scuffling, but okay.
But that Philadelphia Phillies team, 9-1.
Yeah.
They won 9 in a row.
They're on fire.
Yeah.
And so are the Padres. And so the 2 teams you're competing with while you're getting a big distraction. It's just, I feel this way about politics in the world, and I feel this way about my Arizona Diamondbacks. Just, why does everything have to be a controversy and a 5-alarm fire? And, like, I watch other baseball teams. Like, Padres had their problems this year with their main guys not hitting. And it wasn't this alarm drill that it is in Arizona when this stuff happened. I'm just tired of the drama and the up and down all the time. It's just tired of it, man. It wears me out as we look at it. But this is a big series. I'm not saying you're going to play yourself out of it, but you're getting dangerously close to playing yourself out of it. Now, the Phillies and Padres will come back to earth a little bit coming up here.
You hope.
But you're in danger of playing yourself out of it. With Dale, we know, forget about all the other stuff that happens around the world. We know you have one more built-in distraction coming your way, at least one more. I said, I think it was yesterday. I think I was talking to Autumn or somebody. And I said, you know what? Because they have the Phillies next week when Marte can come off the 10-day if they do it. I said, you know what? If you're going to bring him back, wait. Bring him back on the road against the Astros. Have him play 2, 3, 4 road games. Hopefully he comes back and starts hitting the ball and plays well on those road games before he gets back to home. Bringing him back against the Phillies next week, could you imagine the crowd? What if the crowd boos him?
There will be boos.
And he's not going to handle it well. I'm just a fan of it. Hold him out till you can open. If you're going to bring him back, which I wouldn't do, but if you're going to bring him back this year, have it be a road game. Have him get, hopefully, 2 or 3 good games under his belt to where the fan base can kind of be like, see, he is good. The only thing I'm going to recommend to the Diamondbacks moving forward.
Yeah, but then you face the danger of you playing 3 games away from home and he goes over.
And then you bring him back. I'm looking forward to this Cup Series and seeing how they hold up there. When we come back, let's get into it. NFL talk, folks. Your Arizona Cardinals and Dale's Dallas Cowboys. They look good.
Was that an away game or a home game for the Cardinals?
We stopped and ate on the way out there at the taco place we always stop at 99th and McDowell and Dale. It was just all blue and silver.
Let's go, Cowboys!
Come on back, folks. And we're back here. Man, I forgot to mention, Ethan starts college. His college life begins today.
Already moaning and groaning.
I know. Online class today. Tomorrow he goes online class. And then he goes actually physically there for a couple classes on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. Then he's got a couple other like online anytime type classes coming his way. Coming
easy.
Up here. Yeah, compared to what we went through back in the day. Come on, man. But that's today, man. I have a college kid starting today.
I walked a mile my freshman year to classes.
I parked in lot 59 at ASU, and I refused to take those buses that were always full. I'll just walk them. It was ridiculous. I hated everything about it as well.
When I went back for that reunion, they had this circle. Yeah, they had this circle kind of center of campus, and freshman dorms were furthest away from the main academic building. I'm as we're on the parade, I'm going, so there's the freshman dorm. There's the. If I had to do that today.
Back then, you were probably like, oh, this is easy.
I could do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Now.
Dale, from the parking lot to the visitors parking for Pima, I was like, this is ridiculous. A long walk. At least after the game, I got to cut across the field a little bit as well. Robert says, is Marte pulling a Deshaun Watson? Or is Watson pulling a Marte? I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Robert says the organization has put up with mediocrity for 10 years. Letting Marte get away with crap is not surprising, and that's my number one issue with the Diamondbacks, is the ownership, which I believe is leading the charge on the way the Diamondbacks are and stuff like that. I believe Ken Kendricks allows it to happen as well. I think the organization and the way they work, they're just fine with being mediocre. They're just fine with it. They have no problem with it. Because if they had a problem with it, changes would have happened. That's just what the Diamondbacks are. They're the Dallas Cowboys. They're happy just being in the playoff hunt, win one, get into the playoffs 1 year, miss it a couple years, but you're always in the hunt. They're fine with it. And they'll make money doing so, and they're happy with it. Robert says Oklahoma drills would be a start, Dale. Could you imagine baseball players doing the Oklahoma drill? And then he also said days of ways is a misnomer. Burns won't be stretched out to start by September 1st. Yeah, it's going to be about the time. So him and Gallen are going to be available about the same time, which I think is beginning of September. By the way, September 1st is next Monday. So that's the time frame we're looking at. And I want to see Burns hit before I see Gallen come on this. Is anybody excited about a Gallen return to the team? Is kind of my question that I got for you out there as well. But before we get into Cardinals talk, interesting thing happened over the weekend. Thank God we aren't the Cleveland Browns. Okay, if you didn't see this, I'm going to just play a few clips here, but it's a whole dynamic. Deshaun Watson's back with Cleveland. His knee's healthy, finally. They're giving him another opportunity to quit on him, like he has a couple other times in the middle of the field. And, of course, Shadur Sanders is the guy vying for the job also. And before we get into today's developments, over the weekend, if you saw it, Deshaun Watson goes out on the field to play and gets booed beyond belief by the Cleveland fans. Booed beyond belief. It was ridiculous what he did. Here's Deshaun Watson after the game, after the practice, talking about being booed. Check out these words.
I mean, I didn't have no reaction. I think the biggest thing is, I think you guys know too, and I think the whole world knows. It has nothing to do about the performance. It's a little bit personal than that. So, I think it's a disrespectful thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep whatever I feel with me and my family internally on how I feel about that. And yeah, just move on.
But don't you think, Deshaun, that winning and playing better would eliminate some of that booing?
Last time I played on this field, I tore my Achilles. And that same fan base, they cheered when I got hurt. So does that have to do with what does that have to do with anything about performance? When a person get hurt, especially for your own city, and they cheer.
Dale.
Doesn't that make you regret coming here?
No, I don't regret anything in my life. I think the Lord put me through situations for a reason. So I don't regret anything at all. But, I had different thoughts on how it was going to be, but, it is what it is. Sometimes, the tables turn, and I'm patient enough because I'm a child of God to, wait for that time to change. So I'm not tripping on it.
Imagine being in that locker room, Dale, where your quarterback says, it's personal. They don't like me. I tore my Achilles. They cheered because he hasn't played well. Besides, it's off the field. You're not a good dude. Nobody respects you. Nobody likes you. And then you're sitting there going, oh, it's personal. Yeah, it's personal because you're terrible. And I love that question. Do you think playing better would make people, he goes, no.
And therein lies the entire issue. You shut fans up by playing well and winning games.
They'll get on. That's what I'm saying. Marte comes back. That's why I say start him on the road. He comes back, Dale, and plays well. Fans are going to be a little forgiving when you come back home.
Fans, well, I don't know what the locker rooms are like. I don't know what the locker room's like in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But the fact they chose to start him, obviously, it seems like it's okay.
That's the news today. He did that press conference, and I have the head coach talking too. He did that press conference, and they still named him the starter. How does that go over in the locker room, NFL locker room, Dale? When you were in there,
Again, there must be something going on there that we're not privy to.
Yeah, he gets a guaranteed contract for another year, so they're going to play him.
Well, they're going to give him a shot. It's just one of those things. I still remember as soon as I heard him talking. I remember the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl. The first game the next year, they played like crap in the first half of the game. They got booed coming off the field. They just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
fans are fickle, but I guarantee you, when you win games, you play well. There's a lot of forgiveness in sports fans.
Two things happened to Deshaun Watson. Take away the off-the-field stuff that I'll bring up in a second again. But Baker Mayfield got ran out of town, went to Tampa, and has been playing well. So he's the guy that replaced Baker Mayfield, who left and played better. And then you show up with guaranteed contract that has ruined that franchise.
Yep.
And on top of it, how many women did you abuse? Not even allegedly at this point, right? He settled with them all and stuff like that. How many off-the-field disgusting acts did you do? That's why people think it's personal against you. They don't like you.
Right.
Cleveland is a town, if you don't know, they love their sports stars. They ain't putting up with that. They ain't putting up with that nonsense that you pulled off the field. And to sit there, Dale, I know you could see it because our monitors went out again, but he's playing with his expensive watch. He's playing with his ears while he's answering the questions, making sure his diamonds are good while he's answering the questions. It's just, you're a bad dude, man. That's why you're getting booed. And you suck at football. That's why you're getting booed. So then Monken comes out, the head coach comes out. Let's listen to the head coach. This is going to be fun, folks. Let's listen to the head coach make his comments.
Hey, how's it feel to get booed? I mean, it's a pretty easy question. It sucks. I don't want to get booed. It comes with the territory. You don't want to get booed? Let's play good football.
Yeah.
Let's play good at quarterback. Let's play good on offense. Let's play good as a team. And then you don't have to worry about all that because it can turn just like that. Win, play good football, and everybody will be fine. That's just part of it. I mean, so I told him, you good? We're good. Part of what we do.
What'd you see on the...
I mean, Dale, Deshaun Watson says all of that, and then the head coach comes out and goes, play better.
Yep.
Play better. Who cares? Play better. It's going to be fun watching
That's
Cleveland
what I
this
would
year.
have told him if I was his teammate.
And then they named him the starter today. And he's not good, Dale. He's not good at football. He's missed how many years now? It seems 2.5 years now.
It's been at least 2.
And then he missed his final year in Houston when all that stuff was happening, refused to play for them. He's missed a lot of football over the years.
Yeah.
Some injuries, some not, and stuff to that stuff, right? Autumn says, yeah, the fans are the disrespectful ones. Yeah. You're going to have to forgive me if I'm not outraged, sir, that the fans are booing you. And I'm not a booer. I'm not a guy. I mean, treat the guy, he's your quarterback now and all that stuff, but you just have a hard time cheering for a guy that you don't like personally, let alone anything else.
Like you don't know why.
That's
because I could stick my hand into a bowl of 7 things, pull one out and go, oh, they're booing me because I've sucked since I've been to Cleveland. Okay. Oh, they're booing us because Cleveland has sucked at football for a number of years. Oh, they're booing me because I allegedly did inappropriate things with women. What aren't they booing you for?
It's an amazing thing. The victimization of a guy that made multiple women victims is amazing to
crazy.
Me out there. Like, I killed him. He made me kill him. What was he doing? Just give me a massage. And then, Autumn says they cheer because he's a disgusting human being, and I think that's a lot of it there. He's their starting quarterback going into this year. He's going to quit on him, and Sadur's going to be their starting quarterback again. He's going to quit, Dale. He's going to quit again like he has in the past, and stuff like that. Cardinals, Cowboys. We'll get into this a little bit here as well.
Before we get into that real quick, we should have just read this tweet before we started talking about the SCA game.
Yeah.
A Line 6 dad said, as the world turns, episode 1, no way to treat a state champ. After winning your 3rd football championship, preparing and rebuilding for the offseason, you open your quest for 4-peat with a great win over your longtime nemesis. Then it happens. A broken down transport, a night bonding with your classrooms turned into a makeshift Holiday Inn. Waking up to hear your next week's opponent may or may not happen.
Yeah, this is a terrible start.
Screwing around trying to find a replacement.
And that's how they're treating the 3-time back-to-back champions.
Yes.
Yeah. Mike's even offered. He said he'll go up to 4. He'll play somebody in 4A. He just wants to get the kids to play.
Yeah.
We'll go to 4A and play if somebody's got an open date during one of these.
Right.
But that's the other side about this week's game is even if they play it on Friday night, the uncertainty going into this. No game film. Obviously, they didn't play. Just the uncertainty. It's amazing out there. Yeah, Line 6 Dad does a lot of coverage over there in the Mojave Valley on the eastern side of the state.
Okay.
So Bullhead City, Bullhead City, Kingman, and that stuff is where he kind of goes and works out there as well. But your NFL talk here, Dale.
Yeah, so you're at the game, and do you feel like you're at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, or do you feel like you're at...
They were loud, but it's
Have you just become numb to the
Yeah,
dominance of Cowboys fans?
Dale, I had tickets at Sun Devil Stadium.
Yeah.
I could care less about the opposing fans being. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to talk about it. I hate when people complain about it. I hate when fans talk about it. It's what it is. Shut up. Let's move on with our lives. It's welcome to Cardinals football.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Well, you we're guaranteed a sellout every year at Sun Devil.
But here, back in the Sun Devil days. But here, and there was usually like a Monday night game too back then too.
Yeah.
So it was like our Monday night time. Here's the good news for the Cowboys being in town. All the Circle Ks and Quick Trips and everything weren't being robbed on Saturday night because they were all at the Cardinal Stadium. All the robbers.
All right, get to the football.
You can use that joke for
the Raiders,
Dodgers fans, and Raiders fans, and all that stuff too, folks. It's just a joke. Relax. So the game, sloppy game against. This was the first game where you saw the Cardinals struggle in terms of sloppiness and things like that out there, which you knew was coming. It was just I didn't know if we'd see it in preseason or the first game against the Chargers. You knew it was coming.
Right.
Here's the good news, though, and is 34 players were resting that are made this team and are going to start and play a lot. 34 of them were. So the sloppiness was there, but we're talking backups to backups and stuff like that on the sloppiness side. But LaFleur, God, he handles everything so well. It's amazing out there on that stuff. But first, here's the first thing I noticed, and I wrote down about the Cardinals as the game went on. And it's been a concern the last 2 weeks, but it's very prevalent now. And everybody, look, the new whipping dog for coordinators this year is going to be the defensive coordinator, Nick Rallis. He's going to be the Penzing of this year. You've already seen it. People want him gone. He sucks, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know how you can be successful in a preseason game when you have no pass rush. Zero pass rush.
Well, to me, when I watch the game, I mainly watch the first half. But it was twofold. Every time they handed the ball off on first down, they gained 7 yards.
Yeah.
You cannot get a pass rush when it's 2nd and 3 or 3rd and 1. Yeah. You got to stop the run. And that's what reared its ugly head defensively for me again.
But Walter Nolan wasn't in there. Yeah, Darius Robinson, who's an undrafted free agent that's going to get playing time because you don't have an edge rusher on this team.
Well, hold on, Darius Robinson, first-round pick.
I'm sorry, not undrafted. Not Darius Robinson. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. It'll come to me in a minute. I'll say that. Yeah, but BJ's playing in the fourth quarter. He's about to get cut, Dale.
Yeah.
Coming up here as well. But LaFleur on the defensive guys that were playing. Now, a lot of the starters and guys are making it. The other guy will come to me in a minute here, not Robinson. The undrafted guy that's going to get a lot of playing time. But LaFleur on the defense playing, and who's playing on the defense. I'm fascinated by this. I love what they're doing with this. Here he is, LaFleur on the defensive playing long in the preseason.
Like I say with a lot of these guys, time on task, value received. Like you can get a lot done in practice, but sometimes the live bullets and not having a script and all that kind of stuff. So there's a few guys on the defensive side that we want to get out there in that kind of heightened competitive environment and see what they can do, and not ruling out anything for next week either.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, we want to see you under live fire. Let's see what you can do. I love that.
Oh.
I absolutely love that attitude.
He was perturbed, by the way, at halftime when he came out and was interviewed about the false start penalties and the sloppiness. And again, even if you're a backup, if you can't stay on side, if you don't know your plays, if you can't do those things, then it's going to be a short-lived NFL tryout for sure.
Yeah, it is. Some of these guys are getting cut. Some named guys, BJ Ojulari is probably one. I don't think he's going to make this team.
Right.
But the problem is Josh Sweat, when he comes back, going to be enough to have an edge rush on this team? If he comes back, is he going to be enough to be? The problem with this team is they upgraded the offense this year, and that defense is edge rush. Dale, it was so, and I get it. It's backups. Will Johnson didn't play. Buddha didn't play. But the amount of Cowboys that would run open because Milton had all day back there.
Milton might be a Pro Bowler this year. You see the way he bought some time, has a gun for an arm.
He throws a beautiful football, man. That thing is like a perfect spiral. Speaking of Sweat, there's something weird going on with Josh Sweat. And what I mean by this is LaFleur is really upfront about injuries out there. Like after the game, he went through the injuries and everything to that. Blake Gillikin, groin, by the way. Or Gillikin, by the way. Didn't even punt yet, and they announced he hurt himself. They're like, oh, he's out tonight. Punter will be your place kicker. And I was like, he hadn't even punted yet. They said he could go if it was a regular season game. Obviously, they kept him out for that. But groin MRI coming up over the weekend. Robert Taylor Demerson, ribs. He got the worst part was rib injury, and he also got flagged on the play, like double whammy for that one.
Yeah.
That Xavier Weaver, wide receiver. I don't think he's making this team. Hamstring, because there's really good receivers on this team, and he might be one of the odd guys out, especially if you get hurt right now as well. Catrell Clark hurt his hip in this game as well, and then a couple guys concussions as well. And the big guy, 95, I just forgot his name. The big guy in the middle, nose tackle, he was limping a little bit before they took him out of that game. So I don't know. They didn't report anything on him, but I was watching him run off the field, and it might just be he's a big dude, but he was, a little bit under that. But he's really, really upfront about injuries. Yeah. And even Love, like he avoided the question, but at the same time he answered it. Oh, we're just keeping it at an ankle, even though it was a high ankle sprain, that type of stuff. And then there's Josh Sweat. LaFleur on Josh Sweat right here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we want all these guys, whether they're injured or they got injured a week ago or obviously in Sweat's case in terms of just getting him out there for that first time. So we want all those guys back. Like I always say with the guys that are edge rushers, they rush the quarterback. It's a little different than the rhythm and timing of a quarterback and receiver. I'm just being real about it. Like it's one thing, rhythm and timing and working in combination with in the offensive line. It's another thing when you are in that stance on third down and you're finding your point. And no doubt in my mind, you want to get better at football, you got to be out there in football. But there's a little difference there, in my opinion.
They're saying nothing. Is he hurt? You're expecting him for week 1. Is he hurt? He was at the stadium. Is he hurt? Is he sitting out and playing in? He needs to ramp up for it. He's not doing anything. It's just no conversation about him. Just the standard, like, give or take type of. And there's something weird about that with the way that they are about all their players. They were more coming on Jacoby Brissett's situation than they are Josh Sweat. And is it time? We're all willing to put up with it and everything, but one more preseason game left. 10 days roughly till regular season after that. There's something going on.
If you go this entire week and Josh Sweat has not taken the practice field, alarm signals need to go.
And they're going to be in Green Bay, I think, Wednesday for a joint practice. Yeah, I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, no, it's time to, I'm going to say, press that panic button with Josh Sweat. And they have zero pass rush from the outside without Josh Sweat. And even with them, I don't know how good they're going to have.
Right.
It's just, this is going to be alarming. This defense is going to give up 40 points a game because they don't have the horses. It's coming.
Offense will average 30. They'll give up 40.
It's coming, man. It's coming.
At least it'll be exciting there on Sundays.
It'll be like an indoor football game.
And it will be all Sundays.
Yeah. It's just weird how they're so candid about it. Even Jeremiah Love. Oh, it's an ankle. Yeah, they hit the high ankle sprain side of it, but it's an ankle. It's an ankle. It's an ankle. Oh, yeah, it's an ankle, guys. We know he's an ankle. We're going to shut him down. He's more sore than normal. So they hit the big part of it, but they were honest about it.
Right.
And then Josh Sweat, he's just going to ramp up. He's going to be ready to go week 1. Is he? Because all signs are saying no.
See, I haven't heard enough people talk about this because I heard somebody mention it last week, and I didn't bring it up. When I was a rookie in Buffalo, we had 16 games on our schedule, all of them for 1 o'clock Eastern time. Because we sucked the year before. They knew we were going to suck that year. And, I think we had a bye week back then too. But that's what the Cardinals have this year. They're playing every Sunday.
Yeah.
It's either 10 a.m. if they're on the road or 1 p.m., 2 p.m. once the clock changes.
Yep.
That the NFL's telling you.
It just my issue with the Sweat thing is as I was sitting there in the game, and we'll get in more into this tomorrow. Bruce Cooper coming in tomorrow, of course. I have a quarterback scenario. I tweeted it out. I would unload Minshew if I was the Cardinals. I would unload Minshew, and you start with Brissett, Beck, and then Slovis. Slovis, I'm not saying he's going to win you 10 games, but he's good enough to be a third-string quarterback. You can save money unloading Minshew because the Cardinals are cheap. But you don't need Minshew. He's just going to get in the way for us to see Beck. Dale, you got to unload that guy to somebody. Get a 6th, 7th round draft pick, maybe, and then upgrade it to a 5th if he plays a lot for that team. Oh, baby. We'll talk more about that tomorrow and stuff like that. Yeah, Ethan says, give him to the Chiefs. Wasn't he with the Chiefs last year?
Yes.
But this Josh Sweat situation kind of is giving me Ketel Marte vibes. You don't know why he's out. They say he's healthy. You don't know why he's out. They say he's healthy, and they say there's no problem with the organization. But yet he's not out there.
There is something in between all those that nobody's been able to read through yet.
There's something going on. It just doesn't smell right, doesn't look right. And so I don't know. We'll keep our eyes on it, but there's something going on. And when we find out what it is, we're all gonna be like, oh. Dale, I tend to think he's holding in. Because if you were the Cardinals, why would you want that out there? You want to protect the player, right? And stuff to that effect. And while you're working details out and stuff like that.
Are you going to give him more money after you signed him last year?
I wouldn't be sure. No, not necessarily. Maybe he doesn't want to be here. But you know how you can solve that? Hey, here's an extra $1 million if you come back and play this year. And shut up. Get out on the field. I'm not going to be surprised if we find out later on it was a hold in. They're negotiating with him behind the scenes. Hey, you sit out all the camp, come back week 1. We'll give you an extra $500,000 for every game you play. $1 million for the season if you come back and play for us, type of a situation. I'm not going to be surprised. To me, it just because there's no benefit for the Cardinals to say he's holding in. It damages Josh Sweat. It also makes the Cardinals look bad in some aspect. It's just why else? That or he's badly injured. But why would you hold? That wouldn't be held back. You would know about that.
You would think.
You would know about that.
Yes.
So it is fascinating. So we'll get Dale's Twitter Warriors rant tomorrow for everybody out there. Give him more time to think about this coming up here. Bruce Cooper joins us tomorrow as well. Dale, it's Monday. You got one more work day before you go have fun in Vegas.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
By the way, my plane lands Wednesday afternoon as well. Giesecke's going to pick me up from the airport.
Yeah, is he sending a limo?
And the other part I haven't told you yet.
There weren't rooms available, so you're staying with Brooke and I?
Is I'm going to the dinner that night.
Okay.
I'm his guest, so be prepared for me to be sitting next to you.
Hey, John, am I sitting next to you? No, Steve's here.
Yeah. Oh, Dale, this is Steve. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great one.